Hello, my name is Beth Binder, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Mid-Michigan College. Welcome to our Career Roundtable series. We're excited to have you join us. As you consider different careers, you may be asking yourself questions like, what should I study? What will my career be like? And what challenges will I face? To help you answer questions like these, we've invited local professionals to share their knowledge and experiences with you through a discussion hosted by Mid-Admissions Representative Chris Pellerito. If you're joining us live, we hope you'll ask questions in the chat. If you're watching the recording, add your questions in the comments and we'll follow up with you. To explore the opportunities available at Mid and put your future plans in motion, connect with us at midmich.edu/admissions. Hello, my name is Beth Binder, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Mid-Michigan College. Welcome to our Career Roundtable series. We're excited to have you join us. As you consider different careers, you may be asking yourself questions like, what should I study? What will my career be like? And what challenges will I face? To help you answer questions like these, we've invited local professionals to share their knowledge and experiences with you through a discussion hosted by Mid-Admissions Representative Chris Pellerito. If you're joining us live, we hope you'll ask questions in the chat. If you're watching the recording, add your questions in the comments and we'll follow up with you. To explore the opportunities available at Mid and put your future plans in motion, connect with us at midmich.edu/admissions. Hello, my name is Beth Binder, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Mid-Michigan College. Welcome to our Career Roundtable series. We're excited to have you join us. As you consider different careers, you may be asking yourself questions like, what should I study? What will my career be like? And what challenges will I face? To help you answer questions like these, we've invited local professionals to share their knowledge and experiences with you through a discussion hosted by Mid-Admissions Representative Chris Pellerito. If you're joining us live, we hope you'll ask questions in the chat. If you're watching the recording, add your questions in the comments and we'll follow up with you. To explore the opportunities available at Mid and put your future plans in motion, connect with us at midmich.edu/admissions. Hello, my name is Beth Binder, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Mid-Michigan College. Welcome to our Career Roundtable series. We're excited to have you join us. As you consider different careers, you may be asking yourself questions like, what should I study? What will my career be like? And what challenges will I face? To help you answer questions like these, we've invited local professionals to share their knowledge and experiences with you through a discussion hosted by Mid-Admissions Representative Chris Pellerito. If you're joining us live, we hope you'll ask questions in the chat. If you're watching the recording, add your questions in the comments and we'll follow up with you. To explore the opportunities available at Mid and put your future plans in motion, connect with us at midmich.edu/admissions. Hello, my name is Beth Binder, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Mid-Michigan College. Welcome to our Career Roundtable series. We're excited to have you join us. As you consider different careers, you may be asking yourself questions like, what should I study? What will my career be like? And what challenges will I face? To help you answer questions like these, we've invited local professionals to share their knowledge and experiences with you through a discussion hosted by Mid-Admissions Representative Chris Pellerito. If you're joining us live, we hope you'll ask questions in the chat. If you're watching the recording, add your questions in the comments and we'll follow up with you. To explore the opportunities available at Mid and put your future plans in motion, connect with us at midmich.edu/admissions. Hello, my name is Beth Binder, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Mid-Michigan College. Welcome to our Career Roundtable series. We're excited to have you join us. As you consider different careers, you may be asking yourself questions like, what should I study? What will my career be like? And what challenges will I face? To help you answer questions like these, we've invited local professionals to share their knowledge and experiences with you through a discussion hosted by Mid-Admissions Representative Chris Pellerito. If you're joining us live, we hope you'll ask questions in the chat. If you're watching the recording, add your questions in the comments and we'll follow up with you. To explore the opportunities available at Mid and put your future plans in motion, connect with us at midmich.edu/admissions. Hello, my name is Beth Binder, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Mid-Michigan College. Welcome to our Career Roundtable series. We're excited to have you join us. As you consider different careers, you may be asking yourself questions like, what should I study? What will my career be like? And what challenges will I face? To help you answer questions like these, we've invited local professionals to share their knowledge and experiences with you through a discussion hosted by Mid-Admissions Representative Chris Pellerito. If you're joining us live, we hope you'll ask questions in the chat. If you're watching the recording, add your questions in the comments and we'll follow up with you. To explore the opportunities available at Mid and put your future plans in motion, connect with us at midmich.edu/admissions. Hello, my name is Beth Binder, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Mid-Michigan College. Welcome to our Career Roundtable series. We're excited to have you join us. As you consider different careers, you may be asking yourself questions like, what should I study? What will my career be like? And what challenges will I face? To help you answer questions like these, we've invited local professionals to share their knowledge and experiences with you through a discussion hosted by Mid-Admissions Representative Chris Pellerito. If you're joining us live, we hope you'll ask questions in the chat. If you're watching the recording, add your questions in the comments and we'll follow up with you. To explore the opportunities available at Mid and put your future plans in motion, connect with us at midmich.edu/admissions. Hello, my name is Beth Binder, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Mid-Michigan College. Welcome to our Career Roundtable series. We're excited to have you join us. As you consider different careers, you may be asking yourself questions like, what should I study? What will my career be like? And what challenges will I face? To help you answer questions like these, we've invited local professionals to share their knowledge and experiences with you through a discussion hosted by Mid-Admissions Representative Chris Pellerito. If you're joining us live, we hope you'll ask questions in the chat. If you're watching the recording, add your questions in the comments and we'll follow up with you. To explore the opportunities available at Mid and put your future plans in motion, connect with us at midmich.edu/admissions. Hello, my name is Beth Binder, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Mid-Michigan College. Welcome to our Career Roundtable series. We're excited to have you join us. As you consider different careers, you may be asking yourself questions like, what should I study? What will my career be like? And what challenges will I face? To help you answer questions like these, we've invited local professionals to share their knowledge and experiences with you through a discussion hosted by Mid-Admissions Representative Chris Pellerito. If you're joining us live, we hope you'll ask questions in the chat. If you're watching the recording, add your questions in the comments and we'll follow up with you. To explore the opportunities available at Mid and put your future plans in motion, connect with us at midmich.edu/admissions. Hello, my name is Beth Binder, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Mid-Michigan College. Welcome to our Career Roundtable series. We're excited to have you join us. As you consider different careers, you may be asking yourself questions like, what should I study? What will my career be like? And what challenges will I face? To help you answer questions like these, we've invited local professionals to share their knowledge and experiences with you through a discussion hosted by Mid-Admissions Representative Chris Pellerito. If you're joining us live, we hope you'll ask questions in the chat. If you're watching the recording, add your questions in the comments and we'll follow up with you. To explore the opportunities available at Mid and put your future plans in motion, connect with us at midmich.edu/admissions. Hello, my name is Beth Binder, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Mid-Michigan College. Welcome to our Career Roundtable series. We're excited to have you join us. As you consider different careers, you may be asking yourself questions like, what should I study? What will my career be like? And what challenges will I face? To help you answer questions like these, we've invited local professionals to share their knowledge and experiences with you through a discussion hosted by Mid-Admissions Representative Chris Pellerito. If you're joining us live, we hope you'll ask questions in the chat. If you're watching the recording, add your questions in the comments and we'll follow up with you. To explore the opportunities available at Mid and put your future plans in motion, connect with us at midmich.edu/admissions. Hello, my name is Beth Binder, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Mid-Michigan College. Welcome to our Career Roundtable series. We're excited to have you join us. As you consider different careers, you may be asking yourself questions like, what should I study? What will my career be like? And what challenges will I face? To help you answer questions like these, we've invited local professionals to share their knowledge and experiences with you through a discussion hosted by Mid-Admissions Representative Chris Pellerito. If you're joining us live, we hope you'll ask questions in the chat. If you're watching the recording, add your questions in the comments and we'll follow up with you. To explore the opportunities available at Mid and put your future plans in motion, connect with us at midmich.edu/admissions.
Good morning. Welcome to Mid-Michigan College. I'm Chris Pellerito with Mid, and that's the key word of the day is welcome. We're glad you're joining us for our roundtable on skilled trades. It's one that sometimes gets overlooked in education, but certainly clearly one that shouldn't be overlooked. We're happy to serve as your host. We're at our happy Harrison campus. It has its quaint rustic charm. We're about 500 wooded acres here. You can't hunt it, so don't ask. Harrison, if you're wondering, is about a half an hour north of Mount Pleasant, where our other campus is. Mount Pleasant being about an hour north of Lansing, just so you're clear. We've got some brilliant paths here that involve skilled trades, and we're one of 28 community colleges across the state. Odds are very, very, very good, was that enough varies, that your local community college has some strong skilled trades pathways as well, but understand those aren't the only pathways that can lead you to a really good opportunity within the skilled trades. Having said all that, I'm going to move on to a couple of giant important details. We did get a few questions in advance from you, and we'll get to those today, I assure you. But additionally, my wonderful, way prettier, way smarter colleague, Annette, is about 20 feet away behind a monitor. And if you have a question as we're going, feel free to send that along within the chat as well, and I assure you, we'll get to those questions. You're going to find that there's some pretty cool folks here at the table with me, and this is a neat opportunity to kind of eavesdrop on some conversation or ask them specifically. Okay? We're joined here by some Claire Gladwin CTE folks. Some are welding, some are building and construction trades. I just was having a chat with your teacher a few minutes ago. I swear to you, and I've said it 1,000 times, I wish I knew more about the stuff that you're learning. It's super cool, and I see it often where students get that knowledge, then they go off into the world and live happily ever after. Okay, let's jump into it. I'm going to ask our table guests to introduce themselves, and you'll get to know them a little bit more as we go. But if we could start, I'd love to start at the far end with Mikkel.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mikkel Wiggert. I'm the Fixed Operations Director at Midland Ford. I've been with Ford over 20 years. I graduated from Northwood University. I've never been a technician, you can see my hands, but I have worked with them for over 20 years.
See my hands. Telltale sign.
I am not a tech.
Josh?
Josh Myers. I am the construction trades instructor at the Claire Gladwin CTE. I've been in the construction industry for 30 years, and you can see it in my hands.
Darren?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Darren Burns. I am the Global Leader for Construction Management for Dow Started here in mid-Michigan, born and raised. Worked my entire career from ground up. I was out in the mud and the slop, starting out as a laborer, and worked my way up into the role that I hold currently today.
So when somebody says, I want the six-figure job, you rarely do you walk into the six-figure job, but you've worked your way up to that type of opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good deal.
My hands show it as well, but so do the lines on my face.
Good deal. Okay. I mentioned to this group earlier before we started, we talked a little bit about, there are super cool, I don't get to sit in them very often, but there are super cool like box seats or front row seats or, season ticket holder kind of seats that one gets to sit in at a Red Wings game or a Lions game or whatever. You don't get to those seats very easily, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But I want to start with a question that, and let me frame it this way. Most of the time, I prefer to ask questions that my audience, our audience, doesn't know the answer to. I think they know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask this anyways. And I told you this was coming. There's a little bit of a stigma with skilled trades. You know what I'm talking about. There's that, well, those are the not so bright students, or those are the ones that don't care as much, or none of this school stuff's working, so let's put them in a skilled trades track. I don't buy it anymore because I know, I've worked with skilled trades people. But why? Why is that, and what's the counter to that? Anybody care to jump in on that first?
I mean, I'm more than happy to answer that because I work with some very, very talented young men and older men too. The old grease monkey is absolutely not true. These guys are highly skilled, highly trained. Just to be Ford certified, they have well over 2,000 hours of training. Hands-on, some webinars. But the complications of the vehicles today are insane. Every single aspect of a vehicle has to do with electrical. If you don't understand electrical, you're never going to be a good tech. I mean, you can change oil, but it's even that's getting more and more difficult. So, yeah, that's very not true. It makes me laugh actually when I hear it.
But you hear it.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yes.
Regretfully, you hear it. What else?
I just believe skilled trades lets a lot of young adults find that they're intelligent and that they are very smart. They just have a maybe different way of picking up the talent and then producing the results. But skilled tradespeople are extremely intelligent, problem solvers. We're washing that stereotype away, just like the grease monkey. We're not just the dirty old carpenter anymore. We're smart people, and anybody in the skilled trades, once you believe in it, then it really shows. So I'm definitely not one of the people that think that the skilled trades people are the unintelligent or lower achieving academics. I see it every day. It's exactly the opposite from my training point of view.
Anything you want to add?
So I want to paint a picture for you. I was doing a project in Calgary, downtown Calgary, Alberta, and a lot of my skilled trades people who would walk downtown are walking the same streets as those who are wearing the three-piece suit and everything. And they're walking in their work boots and they're walking in their jeans, and so many of those people would look at them and turn their head. What they didn't realize was the skilled trades people were making twice as much money as they were. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything to be said against the office worker and those types of jobs. They're all just as important. But there is no doctor who does heart surgery without skilled trades, because they would not have a building to do it in. And the design and all of the steps that it takes to do so many jobs. I mean, skilled trades built the building we sit in today. It is vital. This economy, this world cannot live without it.
Okay, so just continuing on this line. I know, Josh, you and I have talked about this, but I know too that students come in thinking, I want skilled trades. But everybody that, for example, that comes into the welding track, they're not all good welders. I was a terrible welder when I tried a little test run. They're not all good welders, but they think they want skilled trades. Is it something that just kind of develops and you find your way within a skilled trade? Or do you find you've got students that, yeah, they're mediocre, but after a bit of the right training, they become accomplished?
I think that's a good way to look at it, that everybody, I believe, has the potential to do whatever they put their mind to. And we train with, I guess I don't know how to answer that one right now, because my brain's going on these things and all the kids are doing and how we're breaking stereotypes. And what do you do if a kid, he wants to be the master carpenter, but he struggles with rafters or stairs? Well, if he's got the passion to do it, we're going to commit from the training end all the resources we can to help them get there. And then they might find, wow, this is way more than I'm willing to put into it, and they will find another track in the skilled trades. So that's kind of how I look at it each day.
Is that typical? Is that usually how it happens? Like a finished carpenter has to, correct me if I'm wrong, has to have a really fine touch and a good eye. Not everybody's going to be a finished carpenter, right?
Correct. So they might discover they don't have that fine detail, but yet that doesn't mean they're not going to be successful in the industry, because maybe they're a really good roofer or they're great at pouring concrete. And so we have so many, like I always say, we're an inch thick and a mile wide. There's so many things in our industries that you can find your niche where you're really good and it's rewarding to you. It might not be what you think when you show up in my class at 17 years old. It might not be that, but that's what we work to help you find.
Okay, so it's not necessarily like me in math. I had a ton of tutoring, but I was still crappy in math. They can find their way one way or the other.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm convinced of it.
Sure. Did you want to add anything to that?
You know, and I agree with that, because I'll have young men that come in 17, 18 years old and they want to be a diesel tech, and then I put them with one of my diesel techs and they realize, no, you know what, I'd rather do electrical, or I'd rather do AC work, or I'd rather do anything but diesel. You know, that happens. So
Sure.
Yeah, I definitely think, like he was saying, the industry is so broad. As long as you're in the trade, you'll find your niche.
Okay. Because again, I mean, I know you said, and it sounds good, I know you said, put your mind to it, get the right training you can. But again, not everybody's going to be an accomplished welder. Not everybody's going to be an accomplished cement mixer pourer, whether they're Italian or not. Okay, this question came in about a week ago, and it related to the fact that most students, like I mentioned earlier to one of the teachers here, my third son, I do regret that he didn't get the chance to get a little more exposure to stuff like this. The question related to the fact that, people express concern about financial literacy. These kids need to know more about financial literacy before they're out of high school, or their post-secondary options. They need to know more about that. But the question related to, there's not a lot of exposure to the skilled trades. They've got good fortune being involved with it, but this is only a small segment of high school students. How do we address that? And is that a legitimate concern, and how would we address that?
So I was on the school board, and I know you're on the school board as well. One of the conversations that we started having 10 years ago was not everyone, and I'm sitting in a college telling you this today, not everyone will make it to college. But some of them will enter into the skilled trades and go to the skilled trades classes and end up back here or end up in some form of a skilled trade class. And from that will become some of the most successful people in business that you'd be very surprised. Saying that it is a mile wide, an inch thick, the opportunities that you have in skilled trades are so great. So I started out as sitting in a small little college, Mid-Michigan Community College back then, zero understanding of what I wanted to do. And so someone offered me hey, do you want to go to work as a pipe fitter? And I was like, absolutely. I have no idea what that is, but I'll try it. So I started as a pipe fitter, hated it. And then when the pipe fitter team got slow, the same company had a group where they said, would you like to go over and be a carpenter for a while? And I went over and I was a carpenter. Had never even considered being a carpenter. I'm 35 years a carpenter today. Every opportunity that you have is out there, but you have to make the most of it. And coming back into these programs are amazing. I actually sit and look at the teams in this room and say, man, I wish I'd had these opportunities like you have today, because they are starting you on the right path.
Mm-hmm. Bit of a head start. I often use this analogy. There's a lot of students that come in the front door here and they just want the meat and potatoes of it. They don't want all the veggies on the side. No offense if you're a veggies person. They don't want the gen eds. They don't want the things that typically are part of an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree. Is that accurate? Is that what you find? That they just want, just give me the welding classes and let me go. Give me the CAD classes and then I'm going to charge into life. Is that accurate, what you're seeing?
I think so. A lot of it is, one, the urgency. They just want to get out there and get to that box seat. And, if you could get the vegetables off the plate and it's all meat, then maybe you feel like you're getting there. I'm a unique story. I decided in high school that I checked a box that I wanted to go to college. So I didn't get to take shop classes or anything in high school because we had them, but my counselor said, well, no, you had interest in going to college, so it was all college prep. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Got a summer job in construction. I'm like, oh, this is really good. And I grew up with parents, a school teacher, my mom, and someone said, why don't you teach construction? And to me, it was just, I never thought growing up that's what I would be, as a school teacher or in construction. And now I've done both for almost 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes turns all the time, and that's what I love about it. That's why I tell my students, and you hear this all the time, I tell everybody, I don't teach construction, I teach survival. To go out and live, and I don't build houses, I build people. That's what I do. That's the mindset when we train. And that's why we're getting good people in skilled trades. It's because they're seeing the money and we're giving them the time and dedication to get them trained up.
Are we seeing enough people heading into skilled trades?
Oh, no. I do. I think we
That was a
are.
resounding no.
No, not
Chime
even.
in.
Yeah, no, I mean, there is such a shortage in skilled trades. Technicians in every dealership out there, probably any place that fixes cars is looking for somebody, a technician, somebody to come up through. And back to the point of, even myself, when I went to Northwood, got a great scholarship, that's how I ended up there. I was a computer science major and then realized that I'm not one that works independently. I need to be around people. Obviously, I'm at an automotive school. They're like, why don't you go into automotive? All right, and here I am. But it's fluid, it's always changing. And that's the beautiful thing about skilled trades is every day is different. You never know what the day is going to bring. It's never boring, that I'll give it. Never boring.
I hear you. They've heard that. The audience on the other end of the camera has heard that. But why? Why is there a shortage? Why? Could people in the world say skilled trades don't matter? Why is there a shortage?
I mean, I think 10, 15, 20 years ago, it just wasn't a concentration. Everybody was shoved to college. And so the funding for schools like this went away. Now the government's realized that there is a huge shortage, and now there is funding and the push to get skilled trades back because, like you said, it's the infrastructure of our world. I mean, without it, cars don't move, buildings don't get built, all of that.
Are the folks coming in your door looking for a job the result of stuff like programs like this, programs where they get some exposure to it?
I believe so. I mean, I do believe that. Or they know somebody, or they've seen somebody, or they find out how much money is actually in it. I mean, I've got many technicians that make well into the 6 figures. It's a very lucrative career. And they work 40, 45 hours a week. It's not, 100-hour a week like it used to be. So very lucrative, and there's a lot of opportunity.
Okay. One of the issues affecting this, certainly, and you hear this often, I've heard it for 10 years, Mike Rowe has talked about it a lot, dirty jobs. The really good craftsmen, the really good skilled trades folks are all retiring. Is that true? I mean, are we losing that many on the other end?
The average age that we're seeing is primarily going to be around 40 to 50 years old. And then the folks that come in, so many, I've trained hundreds of apprentices to work their way into the trades that they come in and a lot, not all, a lot of them, if they don't have good foundational programs like this, come in and they're like, well, I just want to be the, I want all the money and I don't want to have to work for it. The key element to the trades you have to remember is that you have every bit of an opportunity to work hard, but there's a sense of accomplishment when you turn around at the end of the day and you look back at what you've done. A lot of jobs out there do not have that. And that was one of the key things that I taught all of the apprentices that I've trained over the years, is to say, turn around at the end of the day, look at what you did, and then recognize it, because tomorrow you'll see what you're going to start on, but you also get to look at what you actually did. It's tangible.
That's cool. I'm a poor craftsman, but I see the tangible piece, like, hey, I got that done. That's super cool part of it. One of the other questions that came in along this line talked about or referred to the fact that there's not enough good trainers out there. And folks are, I see it here at Mid. We've got a brilliant assistant in our heating and cooling program, but he's going to move on. He's got opportunities out there. So how do we address that issue? If there aren't enough good, or is that accurate? Are there not enough good trainers out there? Or those that could take on an apprentice?
1,000%, there's not enough qualified people to train the need we have for the volume of people we need to put into the industry. There's not enough qualified trainers out there to handle that load. Definitely not. And I'm boots on the ground. The training part isn't the best paying part of these careers. They're going out and physically working in the skilled trades pays better than being a trainer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So why would someone want to come in from the trades to train when they can be making more money out in the skilled trades doing the work?
Well, answer that question right now. Why would they? You do so.
Yeah.
So why would they? Here's your chance to.
Yeah, I'm a third generation school teacher, and I have a strong commitment to, like I said, building people. I still get my construction fix and work weekends and on the summers.
Construction fix.
But I'm very much into training and putting good people out in the workforce. To me, that's just as rewarding as turning around and looking at what you built that day. I get some of these students for 2 years.
Yeah.
More contact time than any teacher in their whole high school career.
Yeah.
So if we get good trainers in front of them, we get good results typically.
Yeah, I've seen some of your graduates. They're not merely surviving; they are like flourishing. Cool. I'm going to shift gears just a little bit. Mikkel, what's the first question? If you could ask any question, and HR wasn't going to get on you about it, what's the first question you would ask any potential hire?
Why do you want to get into this trade? And I ask it often. Why do you want to? Because I want somebody who is, I want to work with my hands. I want to learn. I like that problem solving. I like to gain that sense of satisfaction when I fix a vehicle or find a very difficult, being at a dealership, we're expected to fix the car. So we get a lot of cars, right? We get a lot of cars that have been at a lot of other places, and then they come to us with a lot of different hands. And it's really neat to see somebody fix a car and just the satisfaction on their face, the smile that.
Keep your microphone close.
Okay.
There.
The smile on their face, and like I said, just that sense of accomplishment. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to have that want in order to do it and do it successfully. That's why I asked that question.
Darren, what do you ask? Or what would you, if you could, what would you ask?
So I interview a lot of people.
I'll bet.
And one of the key elements, more than asking the first questions, I like to start to get onto a personal relationship basis with people. And then the number one thing that I look for when interviewing people is attitude. I can train you anything. I can teach you any part of the trade, but I can't teach you attitude. And I have hired people who have had horrible attitudes. It reflects in their work all the time.
Yeah.
Everything that you can do, and we all have jobs, you look at it and you say, do I want to get out of bed today? No, right? We all get to that point.
Not me.
Yeah. And we say, but is there a job that you can do where you say, it's hard, but it's rewarding. It's all about controlling your attitude. And you do that, you're going to be successful in all of this. It's going to be a whole lot easier. So that's really primarily what I look for. And when I'm interviewing, I do want, I want to see people that are going to be reliable. I interviewed a person a few weeks ago in Brazil that they changed their job about every year and a half for 20 years. And I look at that and I say, why would that be any different for me? You know, are you going to be gone in a year and a half? I look at the attitude first.
Okay, so that's one way you gauge the attitude.
Yes.
Okay, because I don't imagine that's easy to determine merely in an interview.
No.
Okay. And you notice how he casually references, I was conducting an interview, doing a hire in Brazil. Not Mount Pleasant, not Kalamazoo. Kind of cool. Okay. Josh, what's at the top of the list for skilled tradesmen? What should be at the top of the list? What's the priority? These guys and gals, they get a bit of a head start by being in these kinds of programs. What should they be thinking about long term?
First, I'd say making a good name for yourself in the industry. Your first job is probably not going to be the job you're going to have for the rest of your life. But that having a positive experience and you're making a name for yourself as, hey, he shows up every day, he works hard, he gives you your 40 hours if that's what it is. That's, I think, the first thing that I try to tell my students to focus on when they get hired is you make a good name for yourself by working hard, doing what you're told. You know, a lot of ears open, mouth shut type stuff. You know, you pay attention, you pick up and absorb, and then when your time comes, they're going to give it to you because you've proven that you want it, because you're making a good name for yourself.
Mm-hmm. You want to add to that?
Well, and that's what I was going to say too. I mean, whenever I hire somebody and they're working with us and we go through different, you know, coaching steps and stuff like that, one of the biggest things is I say, you get to write your own paycheck. Where you go from here is completely up to you. Like you said, your attitude, your motivation, your ability. Am I investing in myself and doing what I need to do to get to that next step? Or am I going out and partying and getting drunk with my buddies? I mean, that makes a huge difference the next day when you come to work. You can tell. So that's my biggest thing.
You can tell? You can tell?
Oh, you can tell. You can tell. But yeah, motivation, you write your own. You get the opportunity. That's the really cool thing about skilled trades is you can go as far as you want to, or you can stay where you are. It's up to you.
But that's easier said than conveyed, isn't it?
Oh, 100%.
I mean, a 20-year-old being offered $18 an hour is glorious. But 18 bucks an hour when one is 25, it's a little trickier. And when one is 30, it's, okay. And you're gonna have a car that's like mine, and so how do you think 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds get what you're saying? They understand you can write your own paycheck. Do you think they get that?
I think some do. I really do, because again, I've hired a lot of, I've seen a lot of young men and young women come through, and the ones that are dedicated and really want to make a name for themselves, want to stand out and be that technician in the shop that everybody goes to, or that person, they're motivated. They do their training, they get their state certifications, they come to work every morning dressed, you know, breakfast is already eaten, they don't clock in and then eat their breakfast. It's those little things, they're off their cell phones. The cell phone is a distraction when you're working on a car. But it's those little things that can really make a difference. And the young people that don't have that goal don't have those same things, you know?
Yeah. So on that note, Michael Jordan, you guys still know who Michael Jordan is, right? At 9, you're really contributing. Is that how this works? Does that translate this way as well? Yeah?
Absolutely, it does. That's the making your name for yourself in the beginning, and then that usually turns into habit, which then that's just your mode of operation every day, and it's contagious. Your coworkers will start being there 10 minutes earlier because now it's unspoken competition about who wants to be that tech that's the go-to guy, and hey, this new guy's showing, he's starting to make a name for himself. So I think it's also very contagious to you promote that environment, and then you yield wonderful results.
On that note, Eric Seebeck, good example of a young man who, stature like mine, you know, he's not built like a lot of you guys, But Eric is in a position already where he's leading others, and many of the others are older than him. How did you get him, how do you get prepared to be in a position like that?
A year or two in my class will toughen you up a little bit. So he's referencing a former student of mine that I believe went to Northern Michigan for construction management.
Yes.
And he's making an A. I mean, age is irrelevant once you get out in the workforce, in my opinion. We can have very bright young leaders. We can also have some older people in the trades that are stuck in their ways and they're unwilling to advance. I'm sure a lot of them, when cars got more complicated, they just left rather than getting retrained. They're like, I'll just retire.
You see that a lot in the skilled trades world?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and technology has surpassed some technicians. I mean, and that's when the guys that are retiring, that is a real issue because, I mean, you think about the advancements that specifically automotive has made in the last 10 years, it's tenfold. And a lot of guys didn't want to learn CAN bus systems, communication lines. They just didn't want to. So then that opened up a lot of opportunity for the younger kids to come through and understand and learn. I know they're not kids, but young adults.
Okay. Anything you want to add to that?
One of the things that people told me when I was, 1986, a little while ago, and I wish I would have listened more, but once it clicked with me, is open your eyes and never, this is, you always hear this, never stop learning. When I started in the carpentry trades, and I figured out, I kind of like this. This is something I think I could do just every day. I started watching all of the other trades. I started trying to understand why the electrician was running his cables and why the plumber had to be at certain locations. What is the excavator doing? That transition for me, because I kept my eyes open and I kept watching all of the things that were taking place, transitioned very well to when I became the general foreman of a project. Now I'm running all of those trades. I'm scheduling them. I'm monitoring their budgets and doing all those kinds of things. It all works together to one piece. Keep your eyes open. People told me, don't stop learning. And that doesn't mean don't stop taking classes and all that. Keep your eyes open on the trades, and that really transitions very well. Someone would have told me when I was 21 years old and starting out, safety. Because they put me in a condor and said, go demo those chemical lines.
What's a condor?
A condor is a articulating boom, extending boom. They put me in, and I'm 2 weeks into the trade. No idea. Go demo those chemical lines. Eyes open, pay attention. You're going to see the things in regards to safety. You're going to learn the aspects of the other trade. If you're a welder, is it important to understand, because a lot of our welders do process piping. You understand what the pipe fitters portion of all of that is, or the structural engineering and all of those. And there's so many things. You have to keep your eyes open. Keep learning.
Super cool. Do you miss being a hammer? Do you get, Josh referenced, he gets his construction
I still do.
fix.
I still do all kinds of projects and everything. I'm also a pastor, and I do children's ministry, build play sets. I still have a wood shop. I build every weekend I can. And yeah, absolutely, I still work.
Okay, so if you guys were on stranded on a desert island, and you didn't have your skilled trades background, you'd want a skilled trades person with you, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
1,000%. 1,000%.
1,000%.
Yep. And a cook, please.
I missed that.
I said and a cook.
And the
Yes. Well, ideally, it's a skilled trades person that can cook.
Yes.
Okay. This question came in right out of the gate when we posted that we were going to host this morning. And I'm going to go to you first, Darren. A lot of people are worried about AI, artificial intelligence. It's going to take jobs away. It's going to replace people. It's going to decimate what we've got right now. Is there an equivalent to that for the skilled trades?
No matter what we do, AI is going to be a part of everybody's life. It likens back to a conversation I had with one of the plumbers. He was an older gentleman that I worked with when I was younger, who worked with an older plumber, and there was that great invention of PVC piping. And this plumber said, I'll tell you this right now, PVC piping is not going to be around very long. It's garbage. So he took his 2-pound hammer and he took a swing and he hit his PVC piping and it came back and hit him in the forehead and knocked him out.
No way.
PVC piping is here today. AI is going to be here tomorrow, and it's here today. It's going to impact the automotive trade. It already does, right? It's going to impact all of the welding trade, all of the piping trade, all of the electrical trade. IT does not stop. It is the trade that everybody can always get a career in, right? Because it just becomes more and more. AI is going to be a significant part of what we do, but it will never exist without people.
Do I have to be an AI, or do I have to be an IT expert if I want to continue on in skilled trades?
No,
Okay.
no. But you do need to embrace some of those things, recognizing that they're coming down the pike, and so.
But they won't replace my automotive mechanic with an AI machine.
There are things that AI can't do, and part of it is creativity.
Mm-hmm.
You've got parts of who we are as people. AI is developed by people,
Mm-hmm.
and so looking at some of those things, they can rationalize and do all of that. And we're talking years down the road, but the important part is to recognize that people still have to be creative. We still have that making those momentary decisions that you have to make in the field all the time when you're building. You know, it's easy to look at, you know, you've all seen the video of the 3D printed house.
I was
and
just thinking
everything.
that,
Yeah.
CAD
I mean,
design and
sure, that stuff's coming.
3D printers making the house.
Yep. And we watch the movies and we realize, oh, you know, this is all high tech and it's coming. It will never exist without people.
Anything you want to add to that?
I just say the human element, we can't take that part away, and I'll look at skilled trades as like a remodeling contractor. There's no way AI is going to weed out the remodeling contractors.
Right.
And I don't know if we get how far this goes. I'm very not into that. So I just think that I would just try to work harder to outwork the AI robot is what my brain would do. I just outwork him.
John Henry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Might AI replace the interior designer?
That is very much, I think, and Darren can speak to that. I think that's probably already happening a little bit.
So
Probably a little bit.
I saw some illustrations yesterday. A great young lady that I work with, and she is amazing. She's an amazing artist and work. She's does a lot of documentation specialist for our group. Used one of the AI tools to do some of the design stuff, and it showed her just a beautiful illustration, and she and I laughed about it. But people walk off the second floor, there's a stairway down, and it just drops to the ground because it didn't pick it up. There's no transition. You just fall to the ground. And so I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's awesome looking, but I think you die if you.
Yeah.
Plan on using it.
Who's that artist with the stairways? You know?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
Iger or never mind. Either way, I'm going to pause for a minute and double check here. I told you this was coming. Any questions from you gals, you guys, at this time? They tell good teachers, don't be afraid of the silence, so I'm going to pause here for a minute. Okay. I don't want to wake you, so we're going to move on. I learned a long time ago to listen to my wife. My wife, whenever I ask her, this is who's going to be at the table today, what should I ask them? Her go-to is always, and Josh probably knows this is coming, her go-to is always, what's the worst part of the job, and don't sugarcoat it. Josh?
For the young people, it's exactly what I said earlier. Making a name for yourself. That's the toughest part. What are you going to be when you show up? Are you going to be the one that when they tell you grab the shovel and start digging the trench, you're just going to do it and work and make that name for yourself? Or are you going to be the one that's, I don't know if I really want to do that, then you're on your phone. That's the toughest part, is making the right choice, I think, for some of these young adults.
How do you help them make the right choice?
I model behavior. That's my job. My job is to
Yeah.
model the behavior. And it's no different when I'm out with my business and people working. You model what you expect.
So you see a lot of good mentors. We touched on this earlier, but you see a lot of good mentors out there in the skilled trades.
Yeah, yes.
Half the trick is finding one, right? Okay. All right.
And believe it or not, I'll throw it at my students that are in their second year. They're mentors. They mentor that first year student.
Good point.
And that gets them some abilities of the human element. How do you deal with people? What's the best way to get productivity out of people? A lot of times the iron fist is going away. You mean, because I said so. That isn't really working with today's generation.
Yeah.
So we got to find other
Bill
ways.
Belichick's not going to coach much longer.
It's a great example. So
Yeah.
my second year students already get to be mentors to a first year student, and they probably don't realize it, but they're learning a whole lot when they're explaining what we're doing to someone else.
Yeah. Mikkel, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I say the hardest part of being a technician or an automotive is the physical part of the toll it takes on your body. You know, you're out in the cold, it's some of the environments, you're getting dirty, I mean, and just lifting, changing, it's hard work every day in and day out. But the nice thing is, like you said, if you work hard, you prove yourself, you make a name for yourself, the more advanced you become in your career, the easier the jobs become. So, I mean, that's my best advice, is stay in shape, take good care of your health, because it's important in the skilled trades.
Say that again.
Take good care of yourself. Your health is very important in the skilled trades.
So you wouldn't advise, like, Mountain Dew for breakfast?
Well, when you're 17, yes.
You can get away with it.
Well, coffee stunts your growth, so.
Yeah, I know. Never mind. I never got that. Okay, regretfully, we're running shorter on time, so I'm going to go to one of my favorite questions. I don't always ask it, but I try to always ask it. And anybody can jump in on the answer, but I definitely am interested in your perspective here. Steve Jobs once said, if you want to make everybody happy, don't be a leader. Go sell ice cream. So tell us a little bit about, can you be a leader as a skilled trades person? Will the world listen? Will the world pay attention to skilled trades people ever?
One of the key elements to remember is not everybody is a leader, and that's okay. Not everybody is a carpenter, and that's okay. We're all very diversified. We all have different skill sets and different personalities. Some people are very happy taking their lunch pail to work, go to work, come home. I've worked with a lot of older carpenters who were like, I don't want to lead. I don't want anything to do with it, even though they had more skill set than anybody else. That did not necessarily mean that they were the best leader for the job. The other thing to ask yourself, some people want to be leaders. Maybe they don't necessarily have that skill set. When you turn around and look to see who's behind you, if there's nobody there, maybe you need to reevaluate your leadership style, okay? We have to have leaders. One of the great things that I would even expound on that last question was the hard part about what we have to do from a trades perspective is you have to learn to work as a team. You cannot get as much done on your own as you can as a team. We build significant structures and buildings as a team. But if you try to build it by yourself, it's going to take you so much longer and so much more money and so much more time. You've got to really learn how to work as a team. And the disadvantage of that is there will be team members you do not want to work with. And there will be a leader who you may not agree with at all times. Some of those leaders will listen to your perspective. Some of them will not. Well, you're just young, you don't understand, I don't have to listen to you. Go back to what you're doing. One of the apprentices that I had, as I was a leader, said, can I have your tools? Because I don't think you'll ever wear them again. And I was like, no, you can't. Because my intention was, as a leader, to do exactly what you said, be out there with you and to be working. Lead by example. So we're not going to build anything without leaders. Some of you will be exceptional leaders. Some of you don't have to be, and that's okay. You just have to be, good with that. Always keep in mind that any leader has more things on their mind than what you do. You're focusing on your talent and your skill and your abilities and the tasks that you have at hand, and they're focusing on these tasks. So have a little bit of leniency with your leaders too as they go through and recognize the responsibilities that they have.
Do you think half the audience right now is saying, well, leaders need to have a little leniency with me?
Absolutely, yeah. And some will, and some won't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and is it fair?
It's reality.
Welcome to the world.
Right.
It's not fair, but that is what it is.
Want to add anything to that?
I would say too, you got me thinking about one of the things that I like to tell my staff too, is it's okay to have problems. And I absolutely want everybody to come to your leader with problems. But try to come up with a solution so it doesn't sound like you're just coming up there to crap. If you're seeing a problem, what's a possible solution from your end? Because the leader may not always understand what your position is or even what you're going through. And you may help them solve a problem that'll help the team. So it's come with a solution.
Mm-hmm. You've all kind of touched on it. I'm just going to sort of reiterate a little bit. It's reality. I mean, I would presume, as good as you are, your graduates don't leave here knowing all they need to know. Okay. So if I chose to keep going, and it might be an apprenticeship, it might be an internship or what do you call it? Signing on with the union if I'm fortunate enough to do so, or it might be a training credential at the local community college. There's more to know, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Can you talk about that briefly? Like, why? I meet a lot of 18-year-olds who say, I don't need any more, I don't want any more, quote, school, I'm just gonna get going wherever.
Well, on-the-job training is a classic of skilled trades, so that is probably the most desirable option because it's money coming in and learning on the job versus paying to learn, and that's what we see. So I think if you got the bug, you want to do it, you want to get into skilled trades, you go out there and you jump into it and learn on the job. My students are way ahead of where I was. I didn't even start in construction until my second year in college, so 20 years old. They're light years ahead of me.
Yeah,
so
sure.
That's what I'm saying, but I got a construction job, and that's where I learned my construction. College is where I went to learn how to be a school teacher, I guess.
Okay, understanding though, like we started with, there's 28 community colleges in Michigan, 2 are in the UP, so wherever you move, you'll find one. The state of Michigan is offering more scholarship dollars than they ever have before, ever. Do you think there's a reason for that? Yeah, it's quite likely they prioritize it. A lot of the students that live in district for Mid-Michigan College, you know how much they're paying to go to Mid-Michigan College? Nothing, my favorite price, because of opportunities involving scholarship dollars and things like that. So keep that piece in mind. We have a vibrant bunch of training credential pathways that students are involved with here. It might be automotive services, and we have a beautiful relationship with Midland Ford. It might be our CAD program, it might be our welding program, it might be our heating and cooling, it could be manufacturing. There's a lot of pathways, a lot of options, and that's a good and wonderful thing. Okay, we're down to the end here. I'm going to throw it out like this. Any final thoughts? Last thing you want to share before our audience goes their way?
Yeah, I'll go at one here. We're talking about the shortage of skilled trades and all these men retiring and stuff, and I'm going to tell you where a solution for me comes in is we get more women involved in our skilled trades. I have 3 females in my morning class this year, and they're dynamite. They're dynamite. And so if we don't have enough males that want to go in and fill this void, females, let's go. I mean, you are just as qualified and capable to do the majority of everything in the skilled trades, and that could help us fill the void and break the stereotype even more of what is skilled trades. So that's just my plug on a way we can fill the skilled trades gap.
Super good point. Thanks for bringing that to the front. Raquel, final words?
I I agree with you. Women can dominate of any field that they want to. There's nothing that we can't do. 20 years ago when I got in this field, I was the only female in a lot of the meetings that I went to. And I stuck with it, I enjoyed it, and it's really not that scary. So do it. That's my best advice. Do what you want to do, and you'll find your path.
Darren?
Enjoy the ride. 35 years ago I started it, and I have enjoyed it ever since. There's days that you dread, but there are really days that you appreciate, and in all of it, there is a significant amount of sense of accomplishment that you get from the trades. And the other thing to always keep in mind is there's no us versus them mentality. We all have to carry the log together. Don't be the person that tries to run ahead of the group and leave everyone else behind carrying the log, when you can be doing your part. So there's no us versus them. It's all one team to work together, and whatever you do, keep your eyes open and watch out for safety, because that can change your whole career.
Okay, I'm hearing a theme there. Were you a Marine?
Nope.
Okay. I was just thinking of
No, I work for Dow.
carrying the log. Well, the carrying the log thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you for being with us today. There's a lot of superheroes that do not wear a cape, and some of them are in the classroom with you right now in the front of that classroom. I have a superpower. I wasn't born with it. I kind of am learning it. I don't have it fully formed yet, but my superpower is asking questions. You can have that superpower as well, because you gain a ton by asking questions. So keep doing so. Another superpower is being grateful. You get a lot out of that. So our crafty magician behind the camera, Noah, thank you for doing what you do. You cannot do this without your talent. Annette, thanks again. Margie Dill, thanks for doing what you do. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you guys a ton for stepping up to the plate and sharing. And once more, thank you for being part of this, and we'll see you next year.